Hello, everybody. I am Indy McDaniel, and welcome to Critical Point. Critical Point is a, wow, that's loud. 2 seconds. That's better. Critical Point is a hentai game. I'm not even gonna lie. It's a sci-fi, kind of text-based, hentai sex game. So, why wouldn't I play it? I mean, come on. Graphics. Yeah, I got anything? Hi there, Android girl. Yep. We're not even gonna look any further than that because I'm sure YouTube will ban me forever. So, yeah. I did this on a whim. I really don't know what exactly I'm gonna do with this or even if I'm gonna upload it, but I got it. I felt like playing it. I felt like recording playing it. So I figured, what the hell? If it does wind up being a full Let's Play or anything like that, obviously I'm gonna have to do a little bit of editing because you can't show cartoon boobies on the YouTubes, which is stupid, frankly. But it is what it is. So we're just gonna start a new game here. See what's up. Watch out! Shit, we're hit. Where did we catch it? Aft starboard wing. Engines are starting to overheat. Must have taken shrapnel. Flaps aren't responding. Wingtips starting to disintegrate. Cut off the boost pump. Shut the fuel valve. I already did. Shit, it's on fire. What about the automatic fire extinguishers? They're gone. No response. Switching to manual. Same here. Auto balance is shot. Should we bail out? Here? Are you nuts? We're right in the middle of the enemy. The hull won't last. We'll make it to the shore area at the front lines somehow. No way. We'll turn into a fireball long before that. Better that than being a POW.
In the beginning of the 21st century, Earth was in the midst of a major food shortage. The population had dropped to barely 15% of what it had been at the end of the 20th century. An energy crisis suddenly occurred right on the heels of the food crisis. The flames of war exploded all over the globe, and war never changes. Divided by differing ideals, the world was broken up into 4 political blocks of power. Large-scale regional conflicts broke out at least a dozen times. Finally, a lull in the storm arrived. Now, in the year 2037, in a row.
We're going to the moon, baby!
Critical Point!
Da-da-da-da-da-da. For better or worse, I was born into an average family. I was raised by regular parents and grew up perfectly normal. However, the world was embroiled in conflict. Many young people went off to war, answering the call to protect family and country. That was just the way things were. And my name is Laiji. Laiji Osumi. I am a soldier. I am a captain in the Free Alliance Space Force. I'm on my way to the moon. None of the power blocks have built a very large base on the moon. It hasn't been treated as being very important, because it's not very important. Just an expensive local base, not much else. The Free Alliance moon base has seen a rash of radar problems and communication failures recently. Work efficiency has dropped off significantly. I'm being sent there to check things out. And by check things out, I mean have freaky monkey sex with all the women up there. On the surface, I'm just a technical advisor. However, my true job title is Intelligence Officer. Originally, I was an orbital fighter pilot. Unfortunately, I lost an arm during the capture of a fort on Kilimanjaro. That's in Africa. I haven't been back to the front since then. They placed me in military intelligence. You could say that I'm just like 007 in the old movies, except I'm not. It's pretty obvious that the High Command considers this to be more than just technical difficulties, air quotes. I'm taking the Earth satellite orbit to moon base, air quotes, shuttle. A former pilot like me, just a regular passenger. Of course, I don't have a shuttle pilot license. Still, just sitting around in my seat is so boring.
I couldn't stand it any longer, so I asked them to let me sit in the cockpit reserved seat. After all, the shuttle is an unscheduled flight loaded with repair equipment. I'm the only passenger. I have no reason to be reserved about anything. We approached the lunar surface. The engine shot another burst to slow the shuttle's speed as it plummeted downwards.
Captain Asumi, we're almost above the base. We'll be on the surface soon.
An end to the boredom at last. I thought I was going to die yawning. As the shuttle lost altitude, the mountains came into view. The moon base is located in a valley in a mountain range. Most of the base is underground, protecting it from the sun and meteors. The shuttle port is underground as well, just like the rest of the base. The protective shield around it only opens during takeoffs and landings. It's almost like landing on a mobile aircraft carrier.
What's happening? Ball's jumping around. I can't get a lock. It's almost like it's made of rubber.
In layman's terms, the pilot's saying that the landing guidance marker is not stable. That means he can't lock onto the guideline properly. Or properly. I'm worried that this might be due to the problems with the base equipment. I wonder what's going to happen next. Let's find out.
Tell him to switch it to manual control or leave it up to the base guidance systems. Switch it to manual, baby!
The shuttle crew may think that I'm just butting in, but I am a former fighter pilot. I went with my instincts and decided that it might be better to use manual control with my butt. You guys know what this mission is and what is in your cargo hold? I asked.
You keep it down back there. I'm trying to land this thing.
The procedure must not have been going well. The pilot seemed to be annoyed. Hey, I'm talking to you!
The base down there is having a lot of tech problems, right?
That's right. Automatic landing guidance can't be trusted. Don't you agree?
Gotcha! That sounds pretty logical to me.
I don't want to crash into a mountain just because the machine says to. Rather do it because it's fun.
Neither do I. Hey, Quantum, we're going in on manual. We'll just use our own sensors.
What? We're 40 seconds from landing. We haven't had untraining on goddamn no time.
Stop bitching and just do it.
Yes, sir.
The shuttle started its descent, ignoring the guidance beam from the base. The port had only the minimum space required. There was no runway. It looked like a firefly from 100 meters away as we approached it from above. Landing in such conditions required more precision than threading a needle. However, the pilot performed admirably. The shuttle slid right into the port. We could clearly see the control tower from the cockpit. A lateral shudder ran through the ship, different from the shock of braking. Then came a vibration that could only be landing on a vibrator.
Shit! Almost perfect. Just kissed the wall. From the looks of it, one of our thruster nozzles came off. Can't go home till we fix it.
I knew something like that would happen.
Quantum just had to chip in his 2 cents worth. Ha ha ha. I'm the one who told you to switch to manual. If you have anything to complain about, put it in your report.
Unfortunately, I'm the one who made the decision. I'll take full responsibility. I'm the pilot after all.
The pilot responded to me, laughing. Then he shot the co-pilot a piercing glare. Or glance. Not sure the difference of the two.
You got that, Quantum. Even when with your career, you'll never make pilot. It's that attitude of yours, you know?
Ah, yeah! As the lecture continued next to me, I looked out the window and saw the airlock bridge extending towards the ship. Hey, we made it down safely. Just leave it at that. I gave the two a friendly tap on the shoulder. We emerged from the airlock bridge into what looked like a ready room next to the control room. There was someone standing there, looking completely out of place. Oh God! At first glance, there was about 15 or 16 Asian girls smiling and saluting us.
Yeah, I told you it was a porn game.
They were wearing Space Force uniforms, so they must be servicewomen, but they looked just like Girl Scouts. We returned the salute, and they relaxed a bit.
技術顧問の大隅礼二技術隊殿ですね。お待ちしていました。サポート役を仰せつかった篠塚玲子課長です。
And thank God I don't have to do a voice for her. You can just read the text along with her and learn Japanese. You're welcome, YouTube! My support liaison, Corporal Riko Shinozuka, nodded vigorously at my inquiry.
はい、基地の案内、技術セクションの補佐、その他身の回りのお世話もお任せください。
Her cheerful response was reassuring. I coughed. Her cheerful response was reassuring. Still, this is a military base. We are under extreme conditions on the lunar surface. It certainly isn't high school. Corporal Shinozuka, is that right? How old are you?
はい、18になりました、殿。
Oh, thank fuck. You don't need to call me sir. Don't be so uptight.
はい、
I was transferred from a fighter squadron to intelligence, so I was young for my rank. This kid must have joined up right out of high school.
Is that really? That's how you say in Japanese. Japanese people, please confirm or deny.
Riko seemed like she wanted to say something else. Maybe something sexual in nature. Yes, what is it?
大隅隊員は日系人ですよね。それに名前も似てるし、私近親感持っちゃいます。
Not the statement of a sexual nature I had expected, to be sure. She said this with a smiling face. Her attitude was quite friendly, except... Corporal, you weren't very good at communication in school, were you?
あ、わかりますか？
Yes, it's kind of hard not to. You meant informal, didn't you?
すみません。コンピューター言語なら得意なんですが。
Oh, brother. What's the younger generation coming to? Hey, wait. I'm only in my mid-20s. A generation gap already? It was at that moment that I suddenly realized that I had an extremely large bone. I mature for my age. But we won't dwell on that.
I'd better see the base commander and report in. I want to talk to Riko some more. I want to talk to Riko some more.
Now that I'm through with the space flight, I can start to relax a bit and let my boner hang free. I guess it would be alright to chat with this girl. She is 18 after all, Corporal Shinozuka.
レイコでいいです。
Alright, Riko, did you join up just out of high school?
いいえ、私は士官学校在籍中です。
So, why is an officer candidate on the lunar base?
それは1年目でテクニカルサブジェクトを全部修理してしまいましたので。
You mean completed, not complicated, don't you?
はい、そうでした。
You idiot. This girl seemed like a real ditz, but she completed all her technical subjects in a year. Incredible! For such an idiot. But she's cute. That may have something to do with it. She's extraordinary, no question about it. I'm no slouch myself, but there's no way I could complete those subjects even in 2 years.
その成績がほとんど首位だったそうなので、特別実地研修ということでここに来ました。
Special on-site training meaning sex. Head of the class, huh? In giving head? This girl never ceased to amaze me, even in the 30 seconds I had known her. My title as technical advisor might be in jeopardy. I should have checked over the base personnel profiles more carefully and done my bloody job. At any rate, I'd better avoid technical topics.
でもコマンドサブジェクトは評価 C 以上がないんです。
I see. So you aren't too hot at physical challenges or communication skills. I would have never guessed that based on looking at you and talking with you over this short period of time we've been together. Want to make out.
そうですそうです。よくわかりますね。
You are far too excited for that. It would be pretty tough not to get it.
実地研修が終わればコマンド課程免除で士官になれることになってるんです。
In other words, she's a genius with a few loose screws. If she's my support liaison, I'd better keep an eye on her in the areas where her screws are loose, and screw her loose in the meantime. Well, we can't just stand here chatting all day. Will you take me to the base commander?
はい、こちらです。
Riko walked ahead of me down the corridor.
Although the port itself was underground, Rico and I took the elevator down another 4 levels. We exited the elevator and entered a passageway lined with doors. It looked just like the one we had just left behind except for the nameplates. I mentioned the identical appearance to Rico.
仕方がないんです。法律と経済性から一部を除いて全てユニットで組んであるそうですから。
I see. All materials were brought in on a series of shuttle trips.
はい。それでも電子戦船舶並みの広さとそれ以上の装備や武装があるんですよ。
Of course, the base has more. It's a military base after all. Unlike a ship that can move under its own power, it can't return home for a resupply. Rico hasn't been here very long, but she spoke quite proudly of the place. She seems to have developed quite an affinity for it. Rico led me to a particular door and stopped. At the same time, the operation lamp on a camera I embedded in the wall beside the door lit up. That meant that we were being projected onto a monitor inside the room before us. We immediately started having sex to give them a good show. Rico looked at the lens and saluted, even though she was looking at me when she did it. She's kind of an idiot.
カーラ・ベネディクト司令官、篠塚玲子課長です。
Her Girl Scout salute looked pretty good. She's showing her dedication as a soldier right here anyway.
大隅礼二大尉をお連れしました。
A few seconds later, the door slid open.
入りなさい。
Rico and I entered the room at the invitation of the voice within.
I don't know how long I've been playing, but I'm gonna cut it here. It's actually surprisingly more fun than I thought it was gonna be, so this may actually wind up being a thing, and I'll just cut out the sex bits. Because if you want the sex bits, play it your damn self. This is a lot of fun. So yeah, that's Critical Point, episode 1. I am Indy McDaniel. Until the next one, see yous.